Have you ever wondered, what if healing didn't have to come from the outside? What if the cure to your pain, your illness, your fatigue was already inside you, waiting, not just in your cells or your DNA, but somewhere even deeper, in the part of you that remembers who you truly are, that part of you that existed before this life and will continue long after. Tonight, I want to take you on a journey into the unseen realms of healing, guided by the groundbreaking work of Dolores Cannon. Because in her decades of exploring consciousness, past lives, and what she called the subconscious, a vast, intelligent, all-knowing part of us, Dolores discovered something truly extraordinary. People were healing, right there in her hypnosis sessions. Lifelong ailments, chronic pain, even terminal diagnoses gone. No surgery, no prescriptions, just dialogue, trust, and a deep connection to the higher self. It defied everything we've been taught about the body and about what it means to be whole. But before we go deeper, I want to ask you something. Do you believe your body wants to heal? Not just can heal, but wants to? Because if your answer is yes, or even just maybe, then what we explore tonight may awaken something ancient within you. So get comfortable, breathe with me, and let's begin. Dolores Cannon was not a doctor. She was not a scientist in the traditional sense. She was a regressionist, a humble, curious, compassionate woman who spent over 40 years speaking to thousands of souls while they were under hypnosis. She pioneered a technique called quantum healing hypnosis technique, or QHHT, a method that allowed her clients to access not only their past lives, but something far more profound. A vast intelligence, a voice, a loving presence. She called it the subconscious, though she admitted that word didn't quite capture it. Others might call it the higher self, the oversoul, the God within. It is the part of you that has never forgotten where you come from. And in this space, something miraculous began to happen. When Dolores guided her clients into deep trance, into the theta state, they would sometimes describe scenes from other lifetimes, lives in ancient Egypt, in Atlantis, on other planets, in other dimensions. But more than that, when she asked this subconscious about their current ailments, why they had back pain or cancer or depression, it would respond clearly, lovingly, without hesitation. And when she asked if those issues could be healed, the voice would often say yes, and it would do it right there in that moment. Let's sit with that for a second, because I know it almost sounds too simple, too easy. But thousands of sessions over decades began to show a pattern. Dolores wasn't working with placebo effects or momentary relief. In many cases, we're talking about medical documentation, clients whose conditions baffled doctors, who were suddenly pain-free after one session. Let me share a story with you. A woman came to Dolores suffering from severe knee pain. It had been years. Doctors couldn't explain it. She limped into the office. Under hypnosis, she went into a past life where she had been a soldier in a Roman legion. In the session, she saw herself wounded in battle, an arrow piercing her knee. She died on the battlefield. When Dolores asked the subconscious why she had pain in her current knee, it said simply, the energy of the wound was never released. She carried it into this life. And then, with her permission, the subconscious said it would heal it. In real time, the woman's body twitched. She cried. She described a warmth flooding the knee, and when she awoke, the pain was gone. She stood up, walked normally, and never limped again. You see, what Dolores discovered was this: the body is a messenger, a storyteller, and a mirror. It doesn't punish you. It doesn't betray you. It speaks in the only language it knows, through sensation, imbalance, and signals. Sometimes it's screaming because the soul is whispering and we're not listening. But the moment we reconnect to the true root, the emotional wound, the karmic tie, the unprocessed memory, the body breathes a sigh of relief. It no longer needs to carry the message. because you finally received it. So what kinds of healing did Dolores witness? The list is astonishing. She documented clients who healed from type 2 diabetes, chronic migraines, severe back pain, vision problems, cancerous tumors, skin conditions, emotional trauma, addictions, depression and anxiety. In some cases, clients didn't even know they had a health issue until the subconscious pointed it out. It would say things like, "There is a problem in the liver. She hasn't felt it yet, but it's forming. We are correcting it now." Or, "The tumor is no longer necessary. It was created to get his attention. He understands now." And when asked why a particular illness was created, the answers were just as enlightening. Sometimes it was guilt carried over from another lifetime. Sometimes it was the soul's way of slowing the person down, forcing them to reflect. Sometimes it was a form of protection, even love from a body trying to keep the soul aligned. And in every case, healing was offered with complete compassion. Never judgment, never shame, just understanding and choice. Because here's what's important. The subconscious never forced healing. It always respected the will of the soul. If the illness was still teaching something, it would remain. If the person wasn't ready to let go of the emotional attachment, it would wait. But if they were open, if they truly understood the lesson, then the healing could be instant. Now, you might be wondering, is this only possible under hypnosis? Do I need to be in a trance to connect to this part of me? Dolores would say not necessarily. Her sessions were designed to make it easier, to quiet the conscious mind so the deeper knowing could emerge. But this higher self, this subconscious, is always with you. You can begin the healing process right now, because it starts with a shift in perception. Let me ask you something. What is your body trying to tell you? Not in the language of medicine or symptoms, but in the language of the soul. What emotion might you be carrying? What belief, what memory, what pattern have you outgrown? Take a moment and gently ask, what do you want me to know? Breathe and listen. You may be surprised by what comes through. Many viewers have written in, sharing stories of spontaneous insight and healing after watching videos like this. So here's a little invitation for you right now. If you feel comfortable, share in the comments. I am ready to hear what my body is telling me. Just typing that, saying it aloud, can begin to shift the energy. You don't have to figure it all out tonight. But the moment you say yes to listening, your body will meet you there. Your higher self will meet you there. And healing begins. Let's talk for a moment about belief, because belief is powerful. It's not just a mental exercise, it's an energetic doorway. Dolores often said, "You can't be healed if you don't believe you can be." And in her sessions, belief acted like a switch. Those who trusted the process, who opened their hearts to the possibility, often experienced the most profound results. Those who remained rigid, skeptical, closed off, their subconscious would say, they are not ready. And that's okay. There's no judgment. But if you're watching this now, chances are something in you is ready. Even if it's just the tiniest crack in the armor. That's enough. Because healing doesn't need you to be perfect. It only needs you to be willing. There's something else I want to share. Something that moved me deeply when I first read it in Dolores' work. She asked the subconscious in one session, why do people get sick in the first place? And the answer was simple. They forget who they are. Illness from this perspective is not a failure. It's a call home. A reminder that you are not just a body, not just a personality. You are a soul, eternal, whole, divine. And sometimes the journey back to that remembrance takes us through pain. But always, always, it leads to healing. So how can you begin to work with your higher self, even without hypnosis? Here are a few simple practices you can try. Dialogue with your body. Each morning, place your hand over your heart, or a part of your body that's asking for attention. Say, what do you want me to know today? Trust whatever feelings, images, or memories arise. Release judgment. Speak kindly to your symptoms. Instead of "Why are you doing this to me?" try, "Thank you for showing me where I need love." Journal with your subconscious. Write a letter to your higher self. Ask questions. Then switch hands and respond "yes" with your non-dominant hand. It may feel strange, but often what comes through is profound. Meditate with intention. Go into silence not to fix, but to remember. Visualize golden light flowing through your body, reconnecting you to your soul's wisdom. Affirm wholeness. Each day repeat, "I am whole, I am healed, I am remembering who I am." And finally, trust the process. Healing may not always look the way we expect. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better. But your soul knows the way, and your body is listening. Before we end tonight, I want to leave you with one last message from Dolores herself. In one of her final interviews, she said, "There is nothing the subconscious cannot do. The only limits are the ones you believe in. So if nothing else, let this video be a mirror, a reminder that you are not broken, that the same force which created galaxies also created you, and that force lives inside you still, ready to heal, ready to guide, ready to remember." If this journey tonight touched something in you, if it stirred a memory or sparked a new possibility, I'd love to hear from you. What did your body say when you asked? What are you ready to heal? Share your reflections in the comments. I read everyone, and this community is a sacred space for awakening souls just like you. And if you found comfort, insight, or resonance here tonight, help this message reach others. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next on Being and Beyond. This isn't just a channel, it's a soul family, and I'm so grateful you're part of it. Until next time, stay open, stay curious, and remember who you are always.